Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Sell More Book Show, episode 603. I'm Brian Cohen from Best Page Forward, and I'm joined today by nobody. It's just me today. But don't skip this one. It's still going to be really good, I promise. We've had a lot of great co-hosts lately. We're still going to have on and off a bunch of co-hosts that you will love, love, love seeing. And I just this week have actually been speaking to a lot of you in a live capacity. This past week, I decided that I had not had enough connection with you guys lately. I had not had enough of an opportunity to actually talk with you and make those connections and see what y'all thought. I was doing a 3-part live series called How to Make a Royalties Comeback. The Royalties Comeback Crash course, and this still exists over on Facebook for at least a couple more days at the time of this recording. And part of the reason I've put this out there is because I am doing something special, something that I've never done before, which is a mastermind intensive. This is the Raise Your Royalties Mastermind Intensive. This is a 2-week group chat and multiple group calls coaching that is just really, really packed in right before the holiday season, starting on Monday, November 3rd. This is the only opportunity to get coaching from me without shelling out several G's, several K, however you want to put it. That's usually how much it costs to work with me on an individual or group basis. But when it comes to getting that instruction from me, often it's not live. It's not in real time. But if you join the Mastermind Intensive, you will have the opportunity to work with me specifically. You can go to bestpageforward.net/intensive, and it's a lot less than those several $1,000s that you'd usually pay to work with me. Why, though, did I feel like getting back in touch with you guys and connecting with you through an intensive? Why did I want to go live? Something that I've learned lately in the mastermind that I have been a part of with the wonderful Amanda Francis is that I want to have a business, to have a, author career, to have an everything that is just more aligned with what I want. I have had this sense that I've been a little too disconnected from what I actually enjoy doing. I've gotten too caught up in the funnels. I've gotten too caught up in doing marketing the right way, doing marketing the way people are supposed to do it. And that's silly because, as I talk about on the show, we want to do what feels right. We want to do what is this glorious, glorious intersection between something that sells books and something that we like doing. And to take a page from Becca Syme, something that we are naturally talented at. If we can find that combination of all three of those things, we are going to be in much better shape. And I wasn't doing it myself. I was not completely doing it myself. So expect some new things. I would like to go live more with the Sell More Book Show. I would like to go live more on social media. I would like to make more connections and answer more questions live and really tap into that performer improv background that I have not had a chance to use very recently. So get excited for that. Get ready for more of that going into the end of 2025 and going into 2026. Previous week's question was, what is the intuitive thing that you want to do, but you won't let yourself do? Well, that's a really good fit there. Bethany Tucker said, write all night and sleep all day. It's excellent for not having distractions, but I actually like people, so I still do my best work at night, hand down, word count tested, so I split it. And I hear you there, Bethany. It is so much easier to get stuff done before people are awake, after they've gone to sleep. I definitely have noticed that myself. Maybe it's something in between writing all night and sleeping all day. Maybe you can find a middle ground there, Bethany. Maybe you can find a middle ground. Now, folks, remember, you can always comment on the question of the week over at the Sell More Book Show After Party Facebook group or at sellmorebookshow.com. Top story of the day, which actually there's another article circulating around that I will comment on too. And this is, you get what you don't pay for. Even the best book written won't sell if no one knows it's for sale. Quote, sure, writing a great book is step one, says Harshini Fernando of Written Word Media. But if you want readers to discover and fall in love with your writing, you need more than good prose and a pretty cover. You need a plan that builds awareness, drives traffic, and keeps the momentum going, especially in the crowded world of indie publishing, end quote. And with the state of social media what it is these days, you can't rely on your readers seeing your post, much less getting organic sales from an online bookstore algorithm. That's where adding some paid marketing comes in. Luckily, it doesn't have to break the bank when you combine it with the marketing you're already doing. Start by dialing in your book with a great genre-specific cover, a compelling book description, and professional-level editing. Then it's time to drive your ideal reader to your book sales page using things like newsletter swaps, email promotions, and advertising. Many authors think of paid advertising as a way to get standalone sales, but good marketing is about building and maintaining momentum. Quote, here's the part most authors overlook, says Fernando. Make sure you're capturing those readers for the long term. Paid marketing isn't about quick wins, though you might get those too. It's about growing your presence, learning what resonates, and building reader relationships that last. This is the problem I see with a lot of people who are running Facebook ads. So a lot of people who are running Facebook ads are only running sales ads. And you know what? I have had the amazing opportunity to connect with some great people in this mastermind I talked about, some of whom make way more money than I do, some of whom are at $10 million a year, or they're coming really close to it. And almost all of them use some sort of email collection situation, whether that is through a direct message email collection using something like ManyChat, or whether that is they just have an ad going at all times that is getting people onto their email list. And if the people earning $10 million a year are doing it, well then, maybe it is worth us at least considering it. I think that if you are only running ads directly to a book, you may be missing out. And I know Amazon ads only run directly to a book. And this is one of the downsides of Amazon ads. Obviously, I run an Amazon ads agency. I'm still very, very high on the idea of running Amazon ads, but one of the biggest benefits of Facebook ads is it can go to any page you want. What are some pages it could go to? It could go to an email list sign up page, which could be as simple as a book funnel page, as we talked about in that Katie Cross experiment when she ran ads directly to a book funnel landing page, and it actually converted better than to her website. And you can run that to an email page. You can run it to a series page, a book series page. One of the amazing people who works for our agency, Caitlin, she has had great success with that. You could run it directly to a book page. You could run it to a for sale page on your Shopify, on your WooCommerce, on your Thrivecart. There are so many dang options, and they're all available to you. And so there's so many different strategies you can use, but I absolutely agree with Harshini here. If you do not have a book that is dialed in, or you don't have a page that is dialed in and that is going to convert well, that is going to be a challenge. I have seen authors where it takes 50 clicks to get a sale. I've seen authors where it takes 2 clicks to get a sale. You're a lot more likely to be profitable if you are that 2-click author. Hot potato of wisdom questions here is, What is a reasonable budget for paid marketing to be effective? So much of this is in it depends. It depends on what are you bringing in per month. It depends on what other sources of income do you have. It depends on what is this book? What is this landing page? What is this thing you are promoting? Because if it is not something, and I'm going to make a rattly noise here as I get a cough drop in here, but it is not the sort of thing where you can just put in money and you're always going to get a return. Different books, different pages are going to yield different results. Everybody's situation is a little bit different. In the author ad agency, we have authors who are spending $30,000 a month, $50,000 a month. And then we have people who are spending $500 a month. And in my Pathfinders coaching group, we have people that are spending $100 a month. There is no one clear answer here, but I highly, highly recommend you look at your sales and you see, okay, well, what would make sense here? I'm making $600 a month. Maybe it makes sense to put $100 in and see what happens. See if my sales go up. So you do not have to break the bank. Now, second question here. With all the talk of paid ads being less effective, is it still worth running ads? I had to talk about this. Roland didn't put this out, but this was in the Jane Friedman newsletter. This was in a couple of places. People talking about Amazon is de-emphasizing paid ads. Amazon, that makes a lot of money from ads, is de-emphasizing ads, and as a result, ads are less effective. Look, has there been the usual September weird Amazon algorithm change? Yes, every single year in September, Amazon fiddles with stuff. Every single September, Amazon fiddles with stuff and the algorithm does change. That's clockwork. You could set your clock to it. But does it make sense for Amazon, who is making billions of dollars from their advertising platform, does it make sense for them to make their ads less effective and for them to, according to this, which I think has some references to Dave Chesson, has some references to Joe Solari, great people who I think are amazing, does it make sense for them to emphasize Facebook traffic and social media traffic over Amazon ads if they're making money from it? I would say the answer is probably no. It does not make sense. We have seen some clients have some challenges this quarter, but our take on it, the Amazon, the author ad agency's official take on it is, it seems like organic traffic and outside traffic is actually less effective, but it seems like the ads are still effective. Ask me how I know. We have multiple authors who've gone in and out of the top 100 in the Kindle store in the last month. So we know that the ads are still doing things. So with all the talk of paid ads being less effective, is it still worth running ads? Jury's out on Facebook. I'm still running a lot of Facebook ads to Best Page Forward, and it seems to be working fine. It may just mean you need more ads or better ads, better creative, better copy for Facebook. But as far as the Amazon ads are concerned, we're not seeing a huge number of problems. We are seeing some authors have down sales in the fall, but it does not seem like it's because of the Amazon ads. We are seeing some authors have their best months yet. I say yet, so that it's not ever, so that there's room for growth. I'm seeing some authors have their best month yet, and a lot of it has to do with the books. The books are effective, and then the ads they run to them convert extremely well. So let's go with a little chicka chicka boom for the lightning the question to me is, what's your favorite way to market that's not using social media? The way that uses the thing that you like, that combines that with something you are naturally talented at. I love performing. I love doing these recordings. I love going live. I love some of those things that use just some of the parts that make me feel like I'm coming alive. And I think that that is a valid reason, a valid concept for you as you are trying to figure out, well, what should I do to market these books? I took 7 courses and none of them worked. Well, look, people who make a course, they're naturally talented at a thing and they really like it. And so it's easy for them. If you're taking a course, it's not always as easy because you don't necessarily have the natural talent and you don't necessarily like it. And so what we have to remember is, if you are trying to market, remember that anything that sells a book, anything that sells books counts as marketing. And so if you like a thing and you're naturally talented at it, it might be a good bet for you. Second question, is it true that you shouldn't launch a book around a major holiday? I wouldn't launch it on Christmas Day. I wouldn't launch it on Thanksgiving Day. But I don't think you need to worry about, oh, it's 3 days till Christmas. Oh, it's 4 days after Thanksgiving. Look, the best time to launch a book is when you have it. If you have a book to launch it. I am not a huge fan of the save it up for a rapid release. I don't think it is going to be, in most cases, that is not a strategy that I see working all that often. I think for people who do it, good for them, but you got to write really fast because then you're setting up kind of unrealistic expectations for those readers. But they're going to expect you to rapid release all the time. But can you release near a holiday? Sure. If you're worried about it, wait till January. Totally fine. There's a question, how does book marketing change during the holiday season? Well, ad costs can be a little bit higher. Ad costs can be higher. There can be more product out there. Traditional publishing wakes up and starts advertising things, putting more things on social media. So we do have to be aware of that. But, it's still a matter of putting yourself out there. It's still a matter of connecting with your readers and letting them know that your books are available and can be purchased as a gift. It is still about connecting with your actual readers. And so while some things change, some things stay the same. Self-serving question here is, when is the right time to consider a coach in your author business? For 99.9% of the author world, the answer they would give is never. I don't need a coach. What do I need a coach for? I can figure this all out on my own. And I think a lot of people can. I think a lot of people can figure it out on their own. But I think that the author community sleeps on coaching a little bit. Being in this higher level mastermind, I have this tendency, I don't do a mastermind for a long time, and then I join a mastermind that costs a lot of money and has a lot of commitment and all this stuff. And so that was the case with this one. But being in this room with these people and they're talking about, well, I had these coaches before and I learned this from this coach and I had this mentor and this mentor. And I'm like, so you're telling me all these 6, 7, and 8-figure entrepreneurs have had multiple coaches, have had multiple people teaching them and training them, and have had lots of mentors over the years, and they're making a lot of money. Correlation isn't causation, but I do think that having coaching, having an actual person who can dive into your individualized challenges can be really helpful. It's why we started our Groundbreakers program, where anyone can get 6 months of coaching with a specific coach who is helping them through their challenges, with group, with one-on-one. It's why we created the Groundbreakers program, so you could get a firm, solid foundation under you. And it's why I am doing the Mastermind Intensive, to give people a taste. I want people to have a taste of the coaching and why it can be so valuable. That's at bestpageforward.net/intensive. And the last question here for today is, what's the best way to increase your happiness in your author business? Let's take a moment on this one. Let's think about this one. How can we be happier in our author career? Well, we can stop prioritizing the things that we dislike. We can stop saying that there are so many shoulds and we should do this thing, and now I'm second guessing this. We can have more joy, people. We can absolutely have more happiness in our author business, and emphasizing the things we like doing, emphasizing the things that bring us more joy, emphasizing the stories and the characters that make us happy, but also when it comes to the marketing, making sure we are focused on things that light us up. And maybe we haven't found it yet, and that's okay. If you think about what is something I like doing that just so happens to sell more books. Maybe you think, oh, well, I went to that event at one time, or I went to this market that one time, or there was this course I took way back when, but it didn't seem to work, so I got discouraged, but I really liked it. Think about that. Because we can make anything work, y'all. We can make anything work. We can make anything something that we choose to get better at, that we choose to focus on. When it's aligned with our natural talents, we can make it so that we have the opportunity to 20x this thing. We have the opportunity to reach way more people. There are always more readers out there. There are always more people out there. And maybe the way you've been trying to reach those people has not connected, but maybe in part it was because you didn't actually like it. So how can we increase the happiness in our author business? By focusing more on the writing and marketing aspects that bring us the most joy. Question of the week is, what brings you the most joy in your author career? You can answer that question over at the Sell More Book Show After Party Facebook group or sellmorebookshow.com. Y'all, I want you to take a minute here to just think about, how can I bring more happiness, not just to my readers, but to myself here in these last couple of months of 2025. I really, really want you to take that intention away from this. Thank you for watching or listening today. We will have one more solo episode coming up, and then we will be back to having some amazing, amazing guests. I hope you have an incredible rest of your book selling week, and I will talk to you next week for episode 604. Bye, everybody.